Right here, at home. Protect your out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Let's do this. Man, we gonna do 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
See, we dream chase, cause that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
Jalen Daniels would like to, but Jalen Carter's got him again.
And I wonder if Kirby Smart will dare take a timeout here.
Did you see that?
What's going on, Eagles Nation and TMTP family? Welcome to the Main Thing Podcast presents. It's your boy, Mr. Owens. And after further review, the call stands. I'm still official with no stripes.
How y'all doing, Eagles family? This is your man, Big Huss, the one you trust, bringing you all your Philadelphia Eagles latest. Hey, man, we tapping in on this Good Friday here to talk about this NFC Championship game. You have your Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Commanders. Boo! Say no. But nah, this is the third time meeting. We split 1-1 with them during the regular season. This matchup means just a little bit more on the line with a chance to advance to the Super Bowl. Look, these two teams, they know each other pretty well. Not too much they haven't seen from each other. At this point, it comes down to who has the better players, who can execute the best, who can limit turnovers, and who just flat out wants it. And you know our boys want it, so you know how we rocking. But before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to some players some AP award finalists. You have Saquon Barkley, who was nominated for MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Zach Bond was nominated for Defensive Player of the Year. Quinyon Mitchell was nominated for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Cooper DeJean was nominated for Defensive Rookie of the Year as well. And then you had Vic Fangio, a new award that's being given. He was one of the finalists for Assistant Coach of the Year. All these players are well-deserved. We pray that they win and they get it. They've had outstanding years this year. But talk about the game. How you feeling, fam?
I'm feeling great, man. You already know how we feel about the Commanders. I can't even keep my excitement contained because we know what we're here for and what we came to do, and that's to win this NFC Championship game and advance to the Super Bowl. Obviously, I wanted this matchup dating back since December 22nd when we went to Washington and lost in the final seconds. I wanted them to be in the 7th seed so we can get them at home and get our revenge and our payback. But obviously, it didn't turn out like that. Obviously, we played the Packers first, had to get them out the way. God and the football gods worked their magic and said, hey, don't worry about it. I line up Washington for y'all to come to Philly and get y'all revenge. And what they always say, revenge is a dish best served cold, right? So look, they're going to have to come into the link with these rowdy, raucous fans, these boys that are battle-tested, know what's on the line, know how it felt when in 2022 we went to the Super Bowl in Arizona and lost that. They're prepared. They know what it felt like when we lost. So I'm ready for our team, the city, the coaches, the whole organization to what we say, let's hunt. It's time to hunt, Huss. Because all these Commander fans, look, they be out here chirping. Like they're out here poking their chests out, talking junk, talking nonsense, talking reckless for real. Like they've been here before, like they've been doing this, like they're them, like they're him. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes sometimes when you're watching a game, you root for other teams to beat certain teams, especially with teams in the division, right? But you can't always have somebody else do your dirty work. You got to do your own dirty work sometimes, and that's where we come in. And we're gonna finish these boys off. So look, Kevin Durant, Scott Van Pelt, Taraji P. Henson, Wale, Janky Rondo, Boss Man Juan. I'll be watching on YouTube. Look, all y'all know what time it is on Sunday at 3. Come get some. Come get some.
Yeah, it's gonna be that time. Hey, everybody's gonna be turned up. Everybody's gonna be dialed in. That thing is going to be lit. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
They talking about tickets starting at 500, Huss.
Hey, they said this is some of the cheapest tickets at to an NFC Championship game they had. So I expect it to be sold out.
Yes.
They expect it to be sold out.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, pack every seat. Yeah, I mean, standing room only type ish. You feel me? But before we jump into this offense to really get this thing rolling, it's a little bit of injury news. So Eagles have activated Britton Covey, opened up his 21-day practice window. That's better said. They have till 4 p.m. on Saturday to actually activate him for Sunday's game. They also signed Nick Muse to the practice squad, another tight end. Now, Jalen Hurts, if you've been following this week, they said he'll play. Quinyon Mitchell, if you've been following this week, they said he'll play. Some interesting people who have sat out. You had Cam Jurgens. We all know Cammy. He's been sitting out dealing with a back issue. And then you've had, there was somebody else. It was Cam and Goddard. Yep, with an ankle. Right. Mm-hmm. And then you have Fred Johnson who's dealing with some personal matters. Now, these folks are set out, but more than likely they'll play. I know Landon Dickerson said he believes that Cam Jurgens will play. I believe Dallas Goddard will play. Everybody knows what's on the line. Mm-hmm. They're not going to sit out unless there's something just crazy happening. Now, some notable people have sat out for the Commanders. You have Bobby Wagner and Deron Payne who have sat out. Now, look, if these boys can't go, I feel like the defense can already be had. But if them boys can't go, hey, it's really up. It's going to be a party out there for the offensive players. Like, I'm just keep it real for real. But we'll see. I expect them to play once again. Everybody knows what's on the line. You feel me? If you're able, willing, and able, you will be out there. Now, moving to the offense. What you trying to see from the offense, bro?
So this is what I want to see from the offense. No turnovers to start it off. No turnovers.
Hallelujah.
Yes. I want to see continuity in the offense. I want to see communication from the offense. Everybody knowing their 111, as you say, Big Huss. Everybody knowing their assignment. If we play sound, fundamental football and remember the basics, this game should not be close. I respect Washington. They're a solid team. But when you look player from player, position from position to position, we're better all across the board. Even legend Jason Kelsey had to come out and show the Eagles credit, man, because if we're looking at it, nobody expected Washington to be here. Congrats on them for getting to the NFC Championship game. But nobody expected them to be here. We were expected to be here. So I want to see the offense flourish. I like to see us take our chances down the field. Make sure that Kellen Moore, Nick Sirianni, everybody, QB1, everybody is on the same page. That's what I want to see from the offense. Mistake-free football, and we'll be fine, Big Us.
Nah, for sure. I think you hit it on the head. It starts with no turnovers, man. Hey, turnovers will limit your chances of advancing and winning a Super Bowl. Flat out. That's just the name of the game. Mm-hmm. And then communication, run the ball. Run the ball. The Commanders have given up 139 yards per game. They are a bottom of the barrel poo-poo run defense for real. We're the number one run offense. I know Jalen might be limited in some capacities, or maybe he won't be. We'll see. Hopefully he's not. But even without him fully having to use his legs, just the threat of him being out there will open up things for Saquon, Kenny G, everybody else. The Commanders are allowing close to 5 yards a carry, 5 yards a touch. So you run the ball, it's 2nd and 5. I'm ahead of the sticks. That's all we got to do. Stay ahead of the sticks. Look, This is going to be an aggressive defense. I expect them to blitz a lot, especially with the news of Jalen possibly being limited in some action or some ways. See what he can do. But if Jalen can find those creases, hit him for 10, 15, it doesn't even have to be a 40-yard runs. Just make him pay in some way. Hit those quick passes off of that. Man, it's going to open everything up. Straight up. Then, like you said, the offensive line, they have to communicate, man. And I'm mainly speaking to Mekhi Becton when I say this, just because for whatever the reason, it seems like he's been the guy. But possibly with Cam Jerkins being out, they slide Landon Dickerson over, insert Tyler Steen. We talk about communication. He hasn't really been a part of that starting five. He's got some significant playing time, but you still have to make sure, hey, man, you know where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there.
And just to round it out on the offense, I definitely just want to give some bullet points in terms of the positions. So the Commanders are holding opposing quarterbacks to a passer rating of 81.4 in the postseason. Obviously, we have to put into some context. They did play Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, and then also Jared Goff and the Lions. We know the type of quarterbacks that they are. They don't have the winning pedigree that QB1 has. So I'm looking forward to QB1 having a big day. So in 2022, I'm gonna do a 2022 versus 2024 breakdown. So 2022 Super Bowl year, he had a 66.5 completion percentage, 3,701 yards, 8.0 average, 22 touchdowns, 6 INTs, sacked 38 times, and had a 101.5 passer rating. This year, 2024, he has a 68.7 completion percentage, 2,903 yards, 8.0 average, 18 touchdowns, 5 INTs, sacked 38 times, and has a 103.7 passer rating. So it's funny because, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, so he really only went down in one category then? Was that passing by a little bit?
Yes, in yards. That's it.
In yards.
That's it. Yep. And so it's a compare and contrast the best of his career and the second best of his career since 2020. His best completion percentage was 2024 with 68.7. Second best is 2022 with 66.5%. Yards was 2023, the down year last year. He had 3,858 yards. In 2022, he had 3,701. Average 2024 and 2022 are tied with 8.0 as the average. Touchdowns in 2023 he had 23. In 2022 he had 22. This year he has 18, but we understand that he has missed a couple games as well in that process. Interceptions, his lowest was in 2020 with 4, but we can't really count that because we know that he came in towards the end of the year because that's when Carson Wentz was starting. And he came in against the Packers and threw that touchdown to Greg Ward. I remember that like it was yesterday. But if we say his full body of work during the season in 2024, this year, he only has 5 interceptions. And in 2022, he had 6. But then let's put into consideration as well. 2023, he had 15 interceptions. We always talk about him giving away the ball and turnovers and everything like that. The fact that he cut his interception rate down 10 is major. That's improvement. He's being responsible with the ball. He's being the leader of the team and taking care of the offense. Now he's sacked, like I said, in 2023, he was sacked 36 times, which is crazy to me because I thought 2023 was terrible. But in 2024 and 2022, sacked 38 times. Then his passer rating, 2024, 103.7 to 2022, 101.5. And then his QBR, he had in 2022, 68.3 to 2024, he had 65.6. So the game plan, having some concept, scheme, and coverage beaters, get the ball out quick and get it to the playmakers, take deep shots, because like you said and mentioned in the video earlier, Big Hus, Washington's secondary is very, very questionable. Okay.
Yeah. And when they blitz, they run a lot of man coverage. So they run man versus us.
We know who's on the outside.
No for them.
Come on now. Hey, look, man. And like you said earlier, get involved in the run game, but get down, get your yards. Joe Witt Jr., their defensive coordinator over Washington, he
Yeah,
said, look,
talking crazy.
talking nutty, bruh. Talking about some, if they want to treat QB1 like a runner, then we gonna hit him like a runner. So we already know what type time that is. When a defensive coordinator comes out and speaks like that, be smart with the football, be smart with your decision making. You've been in these positions before, QB1. Make sure you get down there and not taking any unnecessary hits because they're looking to hit you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I love the fact that the stage isn't too bright for QB1. Everyone's focused on Jaden Daniels right now. So this is the time for QB1 to show his worth and his value to this team. I need him to get through his progressions and reads quick, get the ball out of his hands, like I said. Work with the O-line. It's elite and elite. You're an elite quarterback. They're an elite group up front. So like we said in a prior video, when we played the Rams in a recap video, some of the sacks were on the O-line. Some of the sacks were on QB1. So we have to be smart and disciplined with that. Take what the defense gives. Like you said in the last video, Big Huss. Now I want to add on to it. Don't force it. Live to fight another down. If it's not there, take the check down. If nothing is there, throw the ball out of bounds. Like you said, it's key to stay ahead of the sticks. We don't want to get behind the sticks. Let's stay on schedule, be in favorable situations with down and distance. And what I noticed as well is when we are behind the sticks, like you said, stay ahead of the schedule. When we are behind the sticks, QB1 struggles against simulated pressures. So for y'all that don't know, simulated pressures are blitzes, right? So his adjusted completion percentage is 64.2%, which ranks 16th. And it's funny because everybody talks about Josh Allen and how superior Josh Allen is as a quarterback, right? But Josh Allen ranks 24th out of 24th in that category, which is crazy to me. Among all quarterbacks with at least 100 snaps under pressure per summer sports and per AJ Acosta, QB1 has a negative 0.52 EPA per play. Also, he has a 26.8 success rate against pressure. The Rams had success showing pressure with linebackers walking in the A gaps, and then having the one mug linebacker drop under Smitty, eliminating that option. So Corey QB1 has to be able to, if that option's not there first, get his eyes back to the backside in the formation and be able to get the ball out quickly, because sometimes when he stands in the pocket too long, that's when these sacks and things like that happen. So I'm looking for blitz beaters such as slants, drags, shallow crosses, stick route, wide crosses, quick game, middle of the field, and hot routes. Those are things to slow down the blitz.
And don't forget screens. We need to utilize screens way more. That is also something that'll slow that down. Not even tight end screens. Let's do some running back screens. Get it to your playmakers. Yes.
Get them to your playmakers. Get them to your playmakers. Get them to your playmakers. And then I just want to touch on Saquon. His favorite touchdown of his career was the 78-yarder against the Rams this past weekend. In the two meetings versus Washington this season, Saquon's averaged 148 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. In 2 playoff games, he has rushed for 325 total yards, and 206 of them came against the Rams. Jahmyr Gibbs last week against the Commanders ate him up, bro. He had 14 carries for 105 yards, a 7.5 average, and 2 touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? And I need us to lean on Saquon and also lean on Kenny Gainwell, like you said. Have Kenny Gainwell spell Saquon when he needs a few breathers, and then have QB1 as well involved in the run game. But I found an interesting stat because from Datarama. So from Datarama, it says, like last week, Saquon Barkley has another great matchup this weekend against the Commanders. Saquon is up to 3.58 yards before contact per attempt this season, leads all running backs, while the Commanders are allowing the single most yards before contact per attempt, 2.47 this season. The Commanders have also allowed the 8th highest explosive run rate, 15 plus yard runs at 5.6%, and the fourth most explosive rush yards, 762 this year. Saquon is fourth among all running backs in explosive run rate, 7.2%, and explosive rush yards have accounted for 44% of his total rushing yards this year, which is the highest percentage among all running backs. We have to feed Saquon. Everybody knows that the offense goes through Saquon. We have to make sure Saquon is heavily involved in the game plan, and we have to make sure that we stay ahead of the schedule, and stay on schedule with running the football. You see what I'm saying? And you've mentioned before, Big Huss, that Saquon, he gets stronger as the game goes on. He gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And then he's a closer. So when we need him to close and finish, he could be that Mariano Rivera that we need, bro. That's what I'm interested in seeing, especially in the run game. But I'll let you touch on a little bit of that, and then we can go to the pass game really quickly, and then head over to what we got to do on defense.
Yeah, no. So you mentioned the run game. When we think of the run game, you think of the O-line, you think of Saquon. You don't really think about Dallas Goedert. Mm-hmm. Dallas Goedert is very underestimated his impact in the run game. Per NFL Pro, the Eagles average 6.3 yards per design run with Dallas Goedert on the field. That's including the playoffs, compared to 4.7 yards when Dallas Goedert isn't there. So as much as we appreciate what he does as a receiver and the plays he makes after the catch, which are amazing, I'll never forget the double stiff arm on board.
It's by Goddard, who runs over his man, still on his feet, and he scores!
It's crazy, right? So, but he's just as impactful in the run game. All these receivers, for real. Mm-hmm. They're blocking downfield. A lot of the times, Saquon's not more so springing some of these runs because the O-line is blocking well. Yes, they're doing their part, but it's because everybody else on the edge is blocking as well. So he impacts the Dallas Goedert, this is the run game, greatly. Then you talk about the O-line. If Cam Jordan sits down and they insert Tyler Steen or Anthony DeBono, they'll have the biggest O-line in the NFL, standing at 6'6.5", 341 pounds. Tyler Steen would be the smallest guy at 6'6", 320. So once again, you mentioned that run game, we leaning on folks. That's 4 quarters of 340 pounds just leaning on you play after play. And it's isn't just the mauling, they're athletic with it too. They're graceful. So that impacts the run game as well. Mm-hmm. I expect us to see a heavy dose of Saquon. Even if it's not happening early, they'll continue to feed him as he does. He will get his customary 25 to 30 touches between receiving and running the ball. You know what I mean? Like, he is the guy, as you mentioned, the closer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then to add on to your point about Washington's defense, they rank 18th in points per game, 16th in yards allowed per game, 23rd in yards per play. They rank 15th in third down conversion percentage, 29th in fourth down conversion percentage, and 21st in red zone scoring percentage. When we get our opportunities, we need to capitalize and finish. Like we always mention in prior videos, field goals are cool, but touchdowns are more amazing. We want 7 instead of 3. Their rush play percentage ranks 25th. Their yards per rush ranks 30th. Rushes a game ranks 21st. Rush yards a game ranks 30th. And then rushing touchdowns a game 21st. So we see that the trend on the Commanders' defense is poor. It's really not that good in the run game. But with the run game opens up what? Because the pass game. So that's where AJ, Smitty, Dotson, and Goddard need to show up and show out. They, like you mentioned earlier in the video, because they run a lot of single high and man coverage. I look forward to the Commander stacking the box as well. And what they say in football, if they're even, they're leaving. QB1, give our playmakers the opportunity to make plays. The play action will be there. Make sure that we're focusing on the catch and convert, because there was a lot of times against the Rams last week where it'll be a third down where we can move the chains and get a new set of downs, but we're dropping the football. Again, no self-inflicted wounds from either the players or the coaching staff. We cannot have that at this juncture in the NFC Championship game. So you already know AJ's probably going to be matched up on Marshawn Lattimore. Smitty's probably going to get Mike Samberstill. Dotson's probably going to get Igbunu. I don't know how to say his name. Number one. I don't care, though. Igbunu. And Goddard's probably going to get Jeremy Chin, a.k.a. Mr. Chin Check, as you say, Big Huss. But their secondary is very aggressive. Their pass play percentage is 52.85%, which is 8th. Completion percentage 62.30, which is 6th. Yards per pass is 7.2, which ranks them 20th. Pass yards a game, they allow 196, which ranks them 5th. Sack percentage is 7.63, which makes them ranks them 7th. But like we said, those opportunities will be there because they're poor in the run game, so that opens up the pass game. But that's like you mentioned earlier in the video, because we need the offensive line to be a collective and communicate, like you said, single hand. Like, we don't want to point out players, but we know Mekhi Becton, you have to get the communication down, bro. You have to get it down. And how do we respond after giving up 7 sacks last week? That's the major thing. It's pass pro and communication. But I want to see our offensive line get in space, pin and pull, run zone scheme, whether it's outside or inside zone, gap run scheme, whether one lineman, which means one lineman pulls around to lead the running back and the other lineman block down the opposite way, which is power. Center and backside tackle, close gap, and kick out defensive end. We want to push the line of scrimmage with double teams. And also, like we always mention, displace these defenders, move them out the way, create these big holes. Also, I like to see the offensive line with their tags and adjustments in the scheme. Run a lot of counters, traps. We're bigger and stronger linemen that can move the Washington defenders off the ball individually or a double team, as I stated before, to create running lanes. And then, like we can do in zone schemes, wide zone, outside zone, inside zone, mid zone, let's create a lateral flow for the defenders to flow east and west so that we can get positive yardage on our run plays.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And what you about to go? Because look, hey, us, you know who the man. Look, bro, we've been talking about this off camera, Big Huss. It ain't even the players who I'm worried about, bro. And the boy Kellen Moore better be ready, bro. Because the boy, he got his second interview, all right. Down in the place where we about to head to.
Giving me PTSD. I ain't even want to bring that up for real.
Come on, man. It got to be talked about, bro. This cannot, no, bro. Not another Jonathan Gannon episode. This cannot happen. Kellen Moore, you got all the opportunities to go and get a head coaching job either this year or next year. Right now, focus on the task at hand. Control what we can control right now. So what I need to see real quick out of Kellen Moore, Big Huss, is have the correct personnel, formations, and purpose of the play. Okay? Protections. Quick game, 3-step. Drop back, 5-step. Spread the field using motions. Create mismatches, whether that be the wide receivers and the tight ends on linebackers and safeties, and the running backs on linebackers. Force the defense to declare and show its hand, so we know what coverage that they're in. So then now we can counter that like it's chess and win that play. And then what's it called? A lot of times we run 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, one running back, which creates a lot of mismatches against the defense. And then what I just want to see is just variety, whether it's balanced or overloaded formations. Let's make sure that we keep it simple. That's all I want to see from Kellen Moore in this offense. Make sure that we keep it simple and execute at a very high level, because.
Okay. Anything else, bro?
Nah, bro. I'm giving my all on this NFC Championship, John.
I know that's right.
Straight up.
It's contagious, bro. Like, it's really fucking contagious. It's contagious.
Hey, moving to the defensive side, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Vic Fangio has been amazing all year. All year. The defense, if you want to be honest, defense and running game, that's what got us here. Rookie quarterbacks entering the championship game are 0-5.
Mm-hmm.
Last rookie quarterback who played in the championship game was the boy Brock Purdy. We all know how that went. Now,
Oh, no. I said Purdy.
Next gen stats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Purdy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Per next gen stats, Eagles have the number one scoring and total defense, including this is including the playoffs. Now, teams with the number one scoring defense and the number one total defense are 4-0 in these games. So that bodes well in our favor for real. So you have a rookie quarterback in a big game, and that's what it really boils down to. Can a rookie quarterback handle the stage, as you mentioned? A lot of folks get here, things happen. Vic Fangio does a great job of disguising things, sending pressure, changing up the looks. Can this guy keep up with the speed and the adjustments in which Vic Fangio was making? Look, you have to tackle well, and more so tackle in space. You know what I'm saying? When Jaden Daniels hits these edges, or what I noticed in the Lions game, they hit Scary Terry on a screen on the outside. He took it to the crib. They didn't so much do that versus us. When these skilled players get in space, we have to tackle. We have to limit the yards after catch, yards after contact at the point. Right? And we did, for the most part, if you go back to the last time when we played them, for, I say, 3.5 quarters, we did that. And then the wheels just completely fell off that thing. Stopping the run is how you stop this offense. That's Brian Robinson. That's Eckler coming out the backfield, not only running the ball, but catching the ball. They like to run a lot of pony personnel, and they'll use Eckler in the pass game that way. You have to limit it. When we're rushing Jaden Daniels, rush as a group. No hero ball. You can't rush past Jaden Daniels. He's not so much, I say, herky-jerky like a Lamar where he can cut on a dime and just more so make you miss. But if he sees an alley or a gap, he's gone. His acceleration is, especially for a guy that tall, is out of this world. For real.
Yeah. He's a strider, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Like, for sure. He picks up speed. Like, he's covering ground. So, don't rush past him. I expect to see some stunts in this game, a lot of simulated pressure. When he wants to roll out, he wants to roll to the right. He's right-handed. That's where he's most comfortable. If you go back and look at the film, Jalen Hurts kind of had a similar issue. That's just what I'm most comfortable with right now. So in some instances, if I'm Vic Fangio, let him think that he has the ability to roll to the right. Stop, loop somebody back around. You might get a free sack. Or force him to the left. Switch it up. Look, stopping him is not going to be easy. Jaden Daniels, he's a dog, y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd probably say top 6, might probably be top 5 quarterback right now. One of the better quarterbacks in the playoffs right now. But you got to give him different looks. And honestly, you cannot blitz him. That's where the Lions went wrong last week. If you blitz him, he will beat you. He will beat you every time. Rush 4, play coverage, maybe hit it with a spy, maybe have Jalen Carter spying him in some instances, Zach Bond spying him in some instances. Switch it up, right? Another matchup to look for, Quinyon Mitchell versus Scary Terry. First matchup, you got the ball. Second matchup, Scary Terry kind of did him in a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you. Okay. And then it's, Q's coming off a AC joint, so we'll see how he may be limited, whether he's wants to tackle. They might try to test him. We'll see how it goes, but I expect that matchup to go a little bit different. Cooper DeJean has been a dog since entering the fray. The passing defense has allowed 154.55 yards per game passing on average. Before that, 237. So Cooper DeJean's implementation into this defense has been tremendous. I had mentioned Britton Covey getting his 21-day window, practice window open or whatever. Whether they activate him or not may play a big difference, because if they activate Britton Covey, that's a little bit less off of Cooper DeJean's plate. He could really dial into just, playing my nickel or star position, however they call it in this defense. with the D line, guard Sam Cosmi is out. If you all haven't seen it, Sam Cosmi is out, has a torn ACL. He is done for the rest of the year. Prayers up to you, big fella. Get right. But per Fran Duffy on the Philly, I don't know if they say, is it Philly Eagles podcast or Fly Eagles podcast? I'm not sure how they say that. But pressure rate allowed by the Commanders when Cosmi was in was about 17.5%. When he was out versus the Lions, it jumped up to 45%. So Sam Cosmi is a guard. More than likely, he would have been lined up on Jalen Carter. They insert, I believe, the backup's name is Trent Scott.
Trent Scott.
Look, starters, premier starters struggle with Jalen Carter. I'm not sure how well Trent Scott is going to fare on a one-to-one. So they may try to double Jalen Carter, help this Trent Scott guy out a little bit. And if they do, look for Milton Williams and Moral Jomo and these guys to get one-on-ones. Expect those guys to win. I believe last time they played, they tried to double Jalen Carter, and Milton Williams was getting a lot of pressure on him. He was eating. So expect a little bit more of the same. Expect for Nolan Smith to have a big game. In Nolan Smith's 2 playoff games this year, he has 12 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 TFLs, and a forced fumble. My man has been a dog throughout this entire playoff run. I expect him to continue to make some noise. Look, this defense can get it done. We have the best defense, and I expect us to play like the best defense in this game. We need a little get back.
Mm-hmm.
They did not like how that last game ended. To have 5 turnovers and then the last 6 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it was of the game, 10 minutes of the game, it is totally flipped script on you. You got to get your redemption.
Mm-hmm. You couldn't have said it any better, Huss. I just want to add on to your points about the defense. Like you said, we have to tackle, bro. Rally to the football. Gang tackle, make sure that we get these ball carriers down. Tackling space is going to be key to stop the Commanders. Do not, what I have been seeing also as well, because in these past few games is ever since probably the Washington game or even Dallas, our defense has been letting the opposition just drive up the field, whether it be 80 yards, 70 yards. They've been going back up and down. I was used to our defense getting a lot of 3 and outs and getting them off the field.
Hey, especially on those opening drives, like those first few series. I don't know if it's script or what, but off to your point, offenses have been moving the ball kind of early. Then we kind of settle in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to see us shore that up and get a little better with that. Let's win the field position battle. Create turnovers and takeaways, win on early downs. We know that Washington beat us last time off of 3rd and 4th downs a lot. And it's funny because their 4th down conversion rate ranks 1st. So you know they're going for it. All right.
You got to look at it too like this with the 4th downs. I forget who I might have saw say this. Look, Washington's playing with house money right now. As you said earlier in the year, earlier in the podcast, early in the year, nobody expected them to be here. So no matter how it falls, it's still a win-win for them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, why not roll the dice, go for it on 4th down? What we got to lose? You know what I'm saying? So, as a defense, you have to be prepared to play all 4 downs, man. Every time.
All 4, bro. Yes, man. So Washington's offensive team rank 4th in points per game, 5th in yards per game, 10th in yards per play, 6th in 3rd down conversion, and then as we mentioned, 1st in 4th down conversion. And then they actually, when they get into the red zone, they're putting it in there because they rank 6th. So we have to make sure that we keep them out of the red zone, make sure that we're executing at a high level and not allowing the Commanders to put up these points. But as you mentioned earlier, Jaden Daniels is the key to stop. We have to defend that RPO and defend it to the fullest. Usually, with the RPO, usually have the defensive end take the quarterback. So he's playing contain, and you see what I'm saying. So make sure that the quarterback doesn't escape outside. What I would probably like to see is scrape exchange, which Dom Capers used to run. So with this scrape exchange, the DN has the running back. It takes the running back responsibility, and the outside linebacker takes the quarterback. We have to play good, sound assignment football. run clean alleys. The safety seeing the ball and taking the correct angle. That's why I feel when CJ was thrown out the game last week, not last week, I'm sorry, the last time that we played the Commanders, they kind of was getting off on offense because safeties are key in stopping this RPO game. And then also another way to stop the RPO is zero coverage. Lock up the corners on the outside, and have them, like I said, bump and run, press the receivers, and then that makes it easier for the free safety and the safety, which in this case will be CJ and Reed, to come and run these alleys and make that play on the Commanders. Now you did mention their offensive line with Brandon Coleman being at left tackle, Nick Allegretti, Tyler Badash, Trent Scott, and then Andrew Riley at right tackle. They have allowed Jaden Daniels 3 seconds to throw, which ranks 7th in the league. Their pressure is 34.4%. They're not the best run blocking group. So that's, like you said, it's key to stop the run, to force them to pass in obvious passing situations. Now the D-line, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, Moro Jomo, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, Jalix Hunt. We need y'all to win. We need y'all to show up and show out in this game on Sunday. The D-line has to control the line of scrimmage, get the hands up on pass rush. If you can't get to Jaden Daniels, make sure you get your hands up in the pass lanes to bat these ball downs. Have pass rush lane integrity. Create interior pressure and contain the edges. Like you said, don't rush past Jaden Daniels to allow an alley or a lane for him to escape through and get out. Be disciplined and finish the play. Also, no late hits or roughing the passer penalties. That's what killed us too. The last time we stopped them and forced a 3 and out, Milton Williams, even though I don't feel it was a roughing the passer, and obviously I know you don't feel that way because they threw it. They know what we know, that the refs do not like the Eagles. So let's play smart football.
Hopefully we get some favorable officiating this game.
Okay,
not to interject a little bit. Eagles are 6-0 with Sean Hockley, right? And the Commanders are 1-2 over the last 5 years. So hopefully Sean Hockley, I don't know if it's true or not, but shows us a little bit of love.
It shows a little bit of home cooking.
Home cooking. Brew it up.
cooking with Hockley.
For real though.
But now to the linebackers really quickly. A big matchup is going to be Bond versus Ertz. We know Zach Ertz, okay? Zach Ertz still is one of the better tight ends in the league, even in the stage of his career. He's a big red zone threat. So we have to make sure that he doesn't box us out like a basketball player and use his big body and big frame to make these catches. Also, Burks or Trot versus Eckler and Brian Robinson. Like you said, they like to run a lot of pony personnel. So especially with Eckler being the better receiving running back between the two, they like to run a lot of Eckler to the flats. So what does that mean? As we mentioned earlier in the video, because we have to rally and cover and tackle an open space. That is going to be key to stopping the Commanders from the running back position in passing downs. Be instinctive and reading the play, to have play recognition and fill the lanes and scrape. Tackle. The Commanders do have a balance. They're balanced in the run and pass game. They have 410 pass attempts on the season compared to 406 rushes. Be prepared to get the defense lined up. That's something because the Commanders like to run a lot of no huddle and hurry up offense. They actually have that. They actually run no huddle and hurry up at 60.4%. So that's something that we have to be aware and mindful of. And then as far as, like you mentioned earlier in the video, because stopping the run, okay? They like to run a lot of QB sweeps, zones, counter reads. I did some research and saw their rush direction on first down. They like to run to the right end or the left end a lot. On second down, they like to run to the right tackle and the left end. On third down, they like to run to the left end and left tackle. On fourth down, they like to run up the middle towards the center. But They like to run, like I said, behind the center a lot. But next it will be the right end, then the right guard, the right tackle, left guard, left end, left tackle. So the main people that they're running behind are either Andrew Wiley, Brandon Coleman, or Tyler Biotis. So we have to make sure that we're knowing our assignments and playing sound football. And then to finish it up real quick, Huss, on their passing game, this is a day for Big Play Slay, Quinyon, Coop, Isaiah Rogers, CJ, and Reed. They like to take their D shots. As you mentioned earlier in the video, Big Huss, they like to do a lot of wide receiver screens. As you said, Scary Terry took that joint to the crib like 60 yards out last week. They do a lot of quick passing game to get the ball out of Jaden Daniels' hands. So we have to make sure that we have eye discipline, have our leverage, be instinctive, make plays on the ball, watch for their jet sweeps because they like to either run Alameda Zacchaeus or Luke McCaffrey on those quick jet sweeps. And then we have to understand Washington's route concepts and understand our route distribution by communication, because that's where we messed up last time when Q did give up the big go ball to Scary Terry. He was playing inside thinking it was something that was quick. No, Scary Terry just ran the go ball. So we have to make sure that we're on the same page. You already mentioned the matchups with Scary Terry and Quinyon and everything like that, so I don't want to go over that. But their pass breakdown for the Commanders, they throw short right 39.51% of plays, short left 22.93% of plays, short middle 22.20% of plays. Now their short right pass attempts, they have 162, short left 94, short right 91. Like I said, they're not afraid to take their deep shots, so they mainly take deep shots to the deep left. So that when you obviously we play ball, Huss, and played on the back end. When you run deep routes, what does that open up? Intermediate routes, because you're running everybody off, and then the middle of the field and the intermediate routes are open. But with the deep left, they do 6.83% of plays. Deep right is 5.85% of plays. Deep middle is 2.68% of plays. And like we said, we have to make sure that we have done a great job, because that's what Vic Fangio's defense is built off of, like an umbrella. We keep everything in front and don't get beat by the deep play. But we have seen in these past few games, whether that be the Commanders, whether that be the Cowboys, whether that be last week against the Rams, we have given up some deep balls. So we just have to make sure that we're all on the same accord, we're all on the same page, and communicating heavily in that back end.
Yeah, no, I think especially communication is going to be key at between all levels. It has to be on an elite level this week. And one of the main reasons for that is that the Commanders, they're kind of in stride right now, especially offensively. The offense is humming,
Clicking.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't, especially, and then you have some backup pieces in there with Oren Burks. You can't afford for people to be out of position. You have to, whether that be pass game or run game, you have to know your run fits. You have to know, I'm hooked the curl, or I'm running to the flat, or whatever concept we're in. Like, this is my guy. Because, a lot of times when they're in that cover two, that middle linebacker, he's going to travel with them. Whoever's to the strength of that, you're running with that number 3. Oren Burks has to know this. Just little things, So with backup players being in this week, yeah, communication has to be at the utmost. And then moving to special teams, and this has kind of been like a bittersweet kind of thing this year. I expect Braden Man to be on point. He's been on point all year. I'm going to jump right to it. Jake, we need you at your best this week.
Yes.
I need you hitting all your field goals. Continue that streak. I need you hitting all your extra points, because this game very well could come down to a point difference. Like, it has the potential to be that. Do I think it's going to be that? No. But could it be that? What do they say? Any given Sunday. So go in there, do your 111, bro. You're at home. The crowd's behind you. Your team's behind you. You just got to do your job, bro. Make the easy ones. make the hard ones. Hey, we'll walk away with this, man. But Michael Clay has to have his unit on point this year. I believe last time we played them, Luke McCaffrey had some good returns on us. Probably some of the best returns that any team's had on us all year, if I'm being truthful. So,
that's correct.
Hey, kickoff units, know your job. Don't take off before the ball is kicked. Run your lanes. Tackle. Okay. Meet them at the point. We've been doing better on kickoff really since that game, but let's keep on with that trend. Like I said, Brave Man, do your thing. The Gunners, I know y'all be there, but Jake, all eyes are gonna be on you this weekend, baby. I'm gonna be real with you.
And like you said, bro, I don't really want to touch too much on the special teams. We know what it is. You did an excellent job giving your insight and input on the special teams. What I would like to see is, as we've been stating in the past videos, because Jake Elliott needs to be on kickoff duties. The last time we played the Redskins, the Commanders, like you said, Luke McCaffrey had a day on kickoff return. But that was in major part to Brady Man doing kickoff. So we have to win the field position, make them drive the field, be smart, be disciplined, play fast, play physical, and play tenacious. Leave it all out on the field. This is not a time. It ain't like, oh, we can lose this game and then come back next week and be like, oh, we could. Nah, bro. It's win or go home, bro. You see what I'm saying? So, like you said, we need the special teams to play a major part, because over these past playoff games that everybody has been watching, y'all have seen how special teams has been costing a lot of teams. We've been trying to tell y'all since we first started content. Special teams is a big part of the team. Even though a lot of people don't talk about it, it goes hand in hand with the offense, the defense, and the coaches. But as you mentioned, Big Hus, the special teams needs to be on point, and Michael Clay needs to have these boys ready.
Absolutely. Hey, you said it, for real. Has to have them ready. Hey, complimentary ball this week. Everybody has to work in unison. Everybody has to help the next man out. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of them games. It's going to take everybody. It is literally nobody can take a play off. Everybody has to be on the same accord, working with the same mission. Like, as you just said, it is win or go home. And I'm not ready to go home.
No.
As a fan, I ain't ready to go home. So I know y'all boys ain't ready to go home. So let's lock in, man, do what we got to do.
Definitely, bro. And then on their portion, on the Redskins side, Zane Gonzalez is their newer kicker. He hasn't been kicking all season, but he has a 71.4% field goal percentage, which ranks him 38th. He's first, well, I believe tied for first. He has 100% extra point percentage. His longest of the season is 48 yards. He went 5 for 7 in the regular season and 4 for 5 in the postseason. So he has an opportunity to miss a field goal. So let's make sure that we're applying pressure on the field goal block unit and trying to get him to speed up his count and his steps and everything like that to kick the football. Also, Tress Way has been with the Commanders for a while, at least 10 years. I mean, he has been having a great Tress Way. I remember Tress Way from a minute ago, but he's having a decent season because he's averaging 46.9 on punts. He has 22 punts that landed inside of the 20. He's only had 2 touchbacks. So that means that their punt team is getting down there and keeping the ball from going in the end zone and pinning the ball deep into the opponent's territory. They've only caught his punts. Fair caught his punts 12 times. And on the season, he's only had 24 returns, and that has been the lowest of his career since he's been with Washington. So they've been doing a great job with their punt unit. So we have to make sure on our punt return team, whether, like you said earlier, whether it be Covey or Coop, they got to make sure that they don't make no boneheaded decisions. Make sure that y'all read the ball perfectly. You see what I'm saying? If you got to make a fair catch, make a fair catch. But we can't have the ball like you coming up, because I forgot what playoff game that was. Oh, matter of fact, it was our game. with the Rams, and the guy, and he came
Coop
up and acted like he
Butler.
was going. No, not Coop, the Rams punt returner. You remember when we punted it to him, and then it was right before their last drive, I believe, and he came up and acted like he was going to catch it, and then it bounced and rolled past him like an extra 15 yards.
Yeah.
We can't have that. Make sure that we fill this ball cleanly, and make sure that we're securing this football. Because, like I said, throughout the season, Covey has done a great job at punt return, but then when Coop was back there, he did cough up one against the Steelers. We don't need none of those miscues, bro. None of those, bro.
Can't have that. That's kind of almost why I want Covey back there.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he doesn't, and it's no slight to Coop or whatever, he hasn't really done anything wrong. It's just I know if he's back there, if nothing else, he gonna fill that joint clean.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he doesn't return it at all, depending upon what's going on. Just field it cleanly. Get that possession for real, because as you had already stated, field position. Oh, you bobble one of them things, they get it on the plus 20 or whatever. They already within striking distance.
Yes.
We can't have it. Mm-hmm. So stay ahead of the chains, play some complimentary football. Hey, man, don't turn the ball over. Let's get some turnovers. Last time we played them, we had 5 of them things. Let's keep that up.
Mm-hmm.
This time that outcome's gonna be a little different. I guarantee you that.
Oh, for sure, bro.
But nah, you want to talk to him?
Oh yeah, just to finish it up real quick, because before we give our score predictions on this NFC Championship game that we're so used to.
Yes, sir.
We're so used to this.
Come on now.
That's what we do
in the past 3 years, man. What are you doing that?
Come on, man. And if your team ain't playing this Sunday, don't talk about our squad. Don't talk about what they need to do, how they going to do it. That's why your team not playing, bro. Y'all at home. Worry about your draft picks, fam. You feel me? We'll worry about our draft picks after we host that Lombardi, and then we pick 32nd. But real quick, before I talk to the people, Washington is a very penalized team. All right. So they on the offense penalty ranks, they rank 15th in penalties per play, 15th in penalties per game, 21st in penalty yards per game, and 26 in penalty yards per game. Now their defense, they rank 22nd in penalties per play, 19th in penalties per game, 21st in penalty yards a game, and then 18th in penalty yards a game. So as we see, they're undisciplined. They lack self-discipline. So the most common penalties that the Commanders commit are a false start. They got 15 of those, offensive holding 11, illegal man downfield 5, and illegal formation 4. Right? But then I saw something very interesting, Huss, real quick. The Washington offense scores by quarter. They score 88 points in the first, 112 in the second, 78 in the third, and 98 in the fourth. So it kind of fluctuates on their offense. Now their defense is where they can be had, because by a quarter, they give up 36 points in the first, 66 in the second, 67 in the third, and 127th in the fourth. So as the game goes on, they get weaker. All right. So we need to make sure that we exploit that and take full advantage of that, and we will be fine and going to the Super Bowl and booking our ticket to New Orleans. But to round it out,
Nola, baby.
Nola, come on, man. Mardi Gras. You feel me? Down Bourbon Straight. But yeah, before we talk to our supporters, Huss, what I want to see from the coaches is committed to excellence on Sunday, enthusiastic, communicate, be aware of the situation and the moment, have a concise vision and clean vision, be accountable, not only holding yourself accountable, but the players accountable. Put the players in the best position to succeed and embrace adversity. This is why we're Philadelphia Eagle fans, and this is why players want to come to Philadelphia to play in these moments. Embrace this, bro. We know what it felt like in 2022. We don't want to have a repeat. Let's make sure that we finish strong and finish the job and bring this Lombardi home, bro.
Hey, they'll do that. I don't doubt that they are locked in for real, but it's a laid back locked in. Because if you know how sometimes if you too tight, it just I want it so bad, you F it up, you mess up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I think they're taking it. It's another game, but we all know it's not just another game.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? They don't want to put too much on it. Like QB1 says, hey, like we say, keep the main thing the main thing. You feel me?
And you saw Jaden Daniels trying to use that, bro. Come on, cornball. I mean,
But
even though you're nice,
I mean, he
nice though.
looking up to some of his idols.
Yeah,
Bro. I know you seen
yeah.
Bull with the McNabb jersey on as a youngin.
Yeah.
You feel me? You been an Eagles fan. That he really bleed green for real, for real. He happy as hell right now. Life can't be no sweeter. like come
you
on,
said
buddy.
earlier in the video, it's a win-win for them because if they win, you know what happens. But then if they lose, guess what? He's still an Eagles fan, so he's secretly
Go Bears. Yeah, bum. You know the vibes. No. But yeah, man. It's gonna go smooth though.
For sure. But before we get to this, these score predictions, make sure that y'all keep liking these videos, man. Keep telling your friends and family members that y'all found y'all favorite Eagles content creators, and also we can be your friend and family's favorite Eagle content creators. Make sure that y'all keep leaving comments on our videos. Tell us what the score is going to be or what y'all think the score is going to be. Tell us who y'all think is going to win, who y'all favorite players are, where y'all tapping in from. Also, make sure that y'all are subscribing to our channel as we keep building this community up and building this family up. And then make sure that y'all are turning on that notification bell, also known as that Liberty Bell looking thingy, so you don't miss when Swoop comes out with the Eagles news and updates.
Y'all heard Mr. Owens, man. Go and do that. Tap in. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We love our Eagles. Hey, it's Super Bowl year. Y'all know what it is.
On now.
So before we jump on up out of here, though, we got to give y'all our score predictions. Hey, man. Y'all already know we taking home the dub.
On now.
I got us going 31-21, though. I got to be in tight a little early with us doing our typical, usual do dilly, breaking it away later in the fourth, 10-point lead. Yeah, convincingly.
Ooh, I like that. That's a solid score, 31-21, so a 10-point win. Okay. I like it. And just like Big Huss said, we thank y'all, love y'all, our supporters, the loyal supporters, the new supporters. We wouldn't be able to do this without y'all and the support that y'all give us. So we truly appreciate y'all for that from the bottom of our hearts. But now to the score prediction. My big bro gave that 31-21 victory. Like we said, man, we ain't the Detroit Lions, bro. All right, I'm gonna keep it a beam. We about to get serious right now. We are not the Detroit Lions. All right, they've been good for 2 seasons. They ain't been good ever since that. Y'all forget that this is a team that went 0-16. All right, they're just happy to be here. All right, we're not giving away 5 turnovers. All right, that's what's not going to happen in Philadelphia. And also, when we did play the Commanders last time, we forced 5 turnovers and lost the game. That will not happen again. Mark our words. With that being said, and all the beautiful and important information and notes that we just gave y'all in this video, I'm gonna leave y'all with a score of this, man. We're gonna beat them 41-20. That's what's going to happen. I think we're going to have a 21-point victory because everybody keeps thinking that the Commanders, we're going to show everybody. Yeah, we're going to show everybody why the Commanders ain't who y'all thought they were. They're riding on the back of one player, literally Jaden Daniels, and he is a dog. But you can't ride that magic carpet that long, especially when you play a team that is battle tested, plays for one another, and knows this moment and has been in this moment. I can't see none of our offensive players, none of our defensive players, none of our coaches, nobody allowing a rookie quarterback to come into Philadelphia and upset us in a link. It ain't happening. So look, like I said, 41-20, bro. Mark my words.
I like that, John. 21 points. I like that. Once again, convincingly. Got to put them in their place for real. Like I said, I just don't see it. I don't see a rookie coming into that. He thought it was loud the last time. It was at week 11 when he was back in Philly.
Come on, man.
This is about to be a whole different environment. An entire, I don't want to say entirely different team, but entirely different team because they're going to be on one. Everybody's going to be locked in for real. And as you mentioned, player for player, we are the better roster. I do love when Jaden Daniels is doing down there with the Commanders, but I just, as you said, I don't think it's going to be enough.
No.
One person, two people can't carry you to a Super Bowl.
Mm-mm.
We have a complete roster, top to bottom, coaches, offense, defense, special teams. I'm not so much sure the Commanders can say the same.
Mm-hmm.
And as you also mentioned, battle tested. That's not just going back to this year. That's going back to last year. Last year was an emotional roller coaster for everybody. A bunch of highs and a bunch of lows. People, we learn from that. It's not the same thing. It's not the same animal. Yeah.
This ain't what you want.
That.
This ain't what you
not
want.
what you want. This is our year. This is our year.
And add on to your point real quick, because he thought that it was loud week 11 that we played.
That was week 11 when they played us at home. Yeah.
I watched this and they thought probably Detroit was loud. We are not Detroit again. This fan base is way different than Detroit. They haven't seen this type of success. We have. So this is going to be a different. You're going into the belly of the beast. All right.
And they keep trying to say it, bro. We should be the night game, bro.
We should have been a night game.
Bro, had that thing jumping in the Lincoln night.
Come on, bro. But then that makes it even better for our fans. You already know they're going to start tailgating at like 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Probably midnight.
Sure. They already going to be out there. Bro, live, yeah. Broad Street going to be jumping, boy.
Crazy.
I swear.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, man, we appreciate y'all. Go Birds. Y'all know the vibes. Hey, if you don't know, I go by Big Husk.
And I go by Mr. Owns.
And this is the Main Thing podcast, where we keep the main thing the main
thing.
Hey, I hope you all having a great week. Stay blessed, stay warm. Tap into your birds this Sunday at 3.
Go Birds!
Go Birds! Nah, y'all have a good one, man.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.